So did your dad get to wash at the pits, or did he have to come home?
Had to come home because there's no, when he was at that time, there was no pit head bath.
No.
He used to come home black. Not as black as the ones underneath, but it's still black because there's still carting coal out everywhere.
So he'd have to go and get his bucket of cold water.
Yeah, that's it.
Off the tap at the end.
Yeah.
In front of the fire.
Yeah.
Heat it up presumably in the kettle or something.
Yeah, we did have a copper, but at the time she used to use that occasionally for the washing, you know. But
took too long.
You had to light a fire under it, didn't you? It wasn't.
Had to be. It was kettle heated, you know. Everything that we had was hot water from kettle.
Yeah, and just strip himself down and wash
That's
himself
right, yeah.
off as best he could.
Over the sink.
So how did you have a bath or anything when you were little?
Well, we had a tin bath. Aluminium would it be? I don't know.
Yeah, we had one.
It was zinc, because we had one.
Yeah, we didn't have one every week because we couldn't afford to fill the heat, you know. But we did have it every so often and fill from the copper. So we'd all have a good wash down. But actual bath was...
So where did you go to school?
Well, we went to the South Junior. Because I'd been up where we come from, up Stanley Road. I'd registered with South Junior, which was Daddy Essence. I don't know whether you heard that name.
No.
Yeah, where what is it now? Art Centre or something?
Yes, the school is still there.
It's an art centre.
In Owen Street, is it?
Yeah,
Is it
it
Owen
is,
Street?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've
heard there was a bit of rivalry between the South and the North schools.
Yeah.
So what happened when you moved, being a South schoolie in a North schoolie area?
Well, actually, Mum did it on purpose because having the shop, we didn't want any backbiting from people who knew we'd got the shop when we went to school, so she tried to keep it separate.
So it was a calculated decision.
Yeah.
So you stayed on with your old friends as well, I suppose.
That's right, yeah.
It's hard to break into a new circle of friends when you move, isn't it?
Did you get much stick though because you went to the South school?
No, not at all, no.
No. Did you ever go to the ball game?
Oh yeah. One of the highlights of our years. I wasn't good enough to go after the ball, but I always used to manage to get a kick or two.
Did your dad as well?
No, he didn't like it.
Because I've heard that it was quite a few miners used to come off shift and be straight down there.
They did, oh yeah. They've had lots of people, different sections try to get the ball, as they say.
Yeah.
The Navy tried it once. they went home with a bit ragged.
Few black eyes.
Did you have to board the shop up?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Every year we had to board the shop up.
So what happened with the openings to all the yards? Did the ball ever go up the yards?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because now it's very sanitised. It's just in that small area. But
the ball went into somebody's wash house once, and the roof came off the wash house. And
it must have been very rough.
It was rough, extremely rough. There was no rules as such in those days.
It was just the time, wasn't it? When it was finished, it was up until then. You just went for it. Did they still burst the ball and everything?
Oh yes, the rough ones. They stabbed it, as they call it.
Yes, they could stick it up a jumper.
That's right. Yeah. It went into all sorts of outhouses, and if they couldn't get them out, they just kept them there, and you could see the steam coming out of they got that. And if wouldn't let the ball go in Long Street. Everybody used to push them down towards the station and under the cattle house. Do you know it?
I've seen where the cattle house was, yeah.
Well, under there, they used to push them and just past there the canal. So they used to push, and eventually they get to the canal and push them in there. So I can imagine the steam coming up after it.
The massive rugby scrub.
Yeah, too.
Were there injuries? There must have been.
Yes, there were 1 or 2 broken arms and that, but nothing.
You'd have to have looked after those yourself as well, wouldn't you? Because you didn't get free.
Oh no.
Nobody was really bothered about. It's just that it was Shrove Tuesday and that was it. Yeah.
Just for the tape, there is some background noise, but it's not in this room. Just in case when we play it back, we hear some of that come back. So, because this is quite a sensitive mic, so it will pick that
My
up.
oven's whirring away. Is it that?
It was like little cymbally sort of noise. I'm not sure what it was. It was just as we were speaking. That's fine. So any other little memories of anything that you can think of?
Were you living there when you were helping in the war, when you were a messenger?
Oh yes, but I did a tape for the what's it called?
ARP.
No, do you know in the middle of the town, Atherstone, they do memories.
The heritage.
Yeah.
So you've already done one
I've
for
done it
us.
just for being a messenger in the war.
From the war experience.
Children were messengers, sort of 14-year-olds weren't they?
Were there any soldiers in the yard, in your yard?
Well, there was some occasionally came home on leave, but that's...
You were one yourself, a Marine, weren't you?
Yeah.
He did his national service, and you must have lived there then. You must have gone to the Marines from the yard.
I did.
Because there were quite a few soldiers lived in the yards that didn't
there
come
must
back.
Have been. That who didn't? Oh, you mean actually during the war?
Yeah.
Ken was just as the war finished. I think he was one of the first age group that were national service.
Yes, my dad was. So
I volunteered for national service though. It hadn't started when I was called up. It was called hostilities only.
Yeah, my dad got sent off to Palestine.
Did he?
Yeah, because they were doing the canal and everything out there.
Oh,
yes, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad was with the engineers out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
But he got called up
He
at 18. He didn't have
Yes.
a choice, but it
Oh,
wasn't
Ken didn't
quite.
have
I didn't
yeah.
have a choice either, no.
Yeah.
No. Because that year, we're waiting for that to happen. You couldn't, when you go to school and whatnot, what's the next thing after?
When you
After you finish school,
Yeah.
apprenticeship or
Well, you can get a job, but you knew very well that
it would be interrupted.
wasn't a permanent job, you know. So
you were going to get called up.
you knew you got to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I was fortunate because the people I got a job with took over the billiard hall, what do you call
It's
it?
a partnership building now.
Partnership building now,
Mm.
and they came up from London, and I got a job with them, and it was a wonderful job though. Haberdashery and all that type of thing.
Stationery.
So when I got called up, I had a letter from the boss saying, "We'd like you to come when you come out of the forces. Come and join us in London." So I had that in mind, but of course I was taken ill then in the Marines, so that stopped everything.
Oh dear. Did you have friends that lived in any of the other yards?
Oh yeah.
because some were a lot more crowded.
Oh, they were. I mean, they were bigger yards as such, weren't they?
Did you have any friends in any of the big ones?
I mean, later on we found out they were friends. You know, because as you grow up, you learn people are friendly, whatever, you know, where they've come, and it comes out where they've been and what they've done, and quite a few of them are, even now, see them, you know.
Did Les live in a yard?
No, they stopped having you.
What was the biggest yard you remember?
So many.
Yeah, because there was only one way in. There were very few that you could go through and out the other end. They nearly all were dead ends.
Were they? Yeah.
There's some of the ones in Long Street going towards the opposite way that our house was. They went through to Market Street, not Market Street, Station Street, that's it.
Yes.
And some of them came through and went through there as well.
Isn't the one still off Station Street with a big archway? It's not called a yard now. Can't remember what it's called, is it?
Yeah, the corner where Aldi is now and where Co-op is, and up Coles Hill Road and to the right
garage
was all
halfway along Station Street. You can go through, and there are 2 rows of very old houses. I don't know if that was a yard.
They're still used. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. That's not my end.
Oh, I
so
see.
I'm a bit, because it's such a huge project.
Yes.
We've sort of split it up into how the census was done. It's done in different sections, and my end is actually it's the Witherley Road.
Oh, you go
end.
sort of
So
along
I'm out on the very small ones and the guest house type things. I'm from the Dolphin out of Atherstone along Witherley Road, so I haven't got any of the big yards or anything in mine. And mine either went from North Street or from Long Street.
Right. Yeah.
But most of them just were one entrance from Long
Yes,
Street.
so.
That's right.
And because they were privately
Privately owned.
owned.
I hadn't realised that. I thought they were council owned.
Thomas, have you heard of the name Tommy Slack? The builder.
I think so, yes.
He owned quite a few of them. And when the yards were knocked down, he had the bricks. And he built the bungalows down Erdington Road.
Yes.
Down by the canal. He built the...
With the bricks he reclaimed from the demolition.
That's right, yeah.
And he built that and lived in that very huge Pearly Chase. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's
I've been round by there,
beautiful.
yes.
And
It's quite a character, Tommy Slack.
Christian Centre, and it's absolutely wonderful. And that was his house he built.
Do you know who built your yard, Ram Yard?
No, many years.
Do you know how long it had been there?
No.
I mean, we've looked at census records from 1841, and there were yards from in 1841.
So they were there then.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Ram Yard comes in, but certainly from 1841 records, we've got quite a lot of yards on there.
Joan mentioned Hopley. I think.
Oh, that was.
They lived in the big house.
They owned the big house.
At the end.
There was a little, for some reason, there was a detached house at the top of the yard. It wasn't a bit all that posh, but it was different, you know. And there was a garden beyond that as well, which is strange. Why the people in the smaller cottages couldn't have a garden, I don't know. Or can't even enjoy the garden because they were privately owned.